Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and sound.
Is down, but he needs to pick it up. Play 50 seconds left. He's gonna see one jump over the fence. Oh, Wade!
Trying to get out of dodge, does so far. Turns first on one, looking for the jam on the second. Finds it. Rated Gaming earning one in every way, shape, and form.
More of a 60-point game here.
I cannot believe he just got away with that. He's going for more. This dude is getting away with murder, quite literally here. 3 in a row.
48 here, Rated Gaming. Flag flips their position. And oh my god!
Zila on 4 in a row, 5 in a row, almost 6 in a row. There you go, Zila.
Now it's a 1v1. Kane, does he realize that he's directly underneath him? He jumps and misses the angle, but will burn and burn. And that's going to be 100 points for Bandit. As Nomo goes to try to shut the door on Magnus, he'll just kill him instead. Looks for the second, gets goofy, go for the third, but he has to reload. Oh no, don't let him do it to you. Absolutely locked down. Now trying to flood from the back is Rated, will get shut down. We had another player attempting to flood from the side as he will get picked up. Look at the ears on Crixus. We actually were going to see Natural Talent begin to push towards the middle side.
The Kobe lands!
God, what an ace!
Trying to turn the corner into this other dude, finds a 4th. Oh my good lord, 5!
Now he is positive 9, going for positive 10, as he will be able to pick up the last one as well. Absolute monster.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Saturday match day for this first map, this first series. We're going to have Rated Gaming versus Knights Templar. For those of you who are wondering, my name is Trevor, and I am joined by the amazing Kamika. Kamika, how are you tonight?
Yeah, dude, I'm doing pretty good. I was not expecting to be here, but I'm glad I'm here because we're going to be watching a pretty awesome match. You guys didn't see very, very short game pre-roll. Here's who is going at it tonight. Also, you can probably read the title if you read the English language, and you will see that it is Rated Gaming versus Knights Templar. First maps, go back to that. In case, again, you guys did not see that 5-second. Hardpoint, Gunrunner, Fran Artplov, and then Gunrunner Domination at the very least.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We've seen so much Gunrunner over this past week. I guess everyone just wants to play it. I mean, it was probably the best competitive map, so why not end the year playing it as much as you can, just to get those reps, you know. Other than that, we're gonna hop straight into this Gunrunner. Don't really have any notes about this particular matchup, as I did also find out that I was going to be casting it just a few minutes ago, but we are here and we are ready for Rated Gaming versus Knights Templar. So it looks like we're going to be on the side of Rated Gaming. They do have this advantageous side off the rip. They're going to probably try to hold the spawns for P2, as that's how Gunrunner typically plays. I wouldn't be surprised for this rated squad to be able to put some pressure on that PE1, though.
I absolutely cannot believe that Jimbo. I thought Rival was hanging around that corner. Totally got saved by Skittles, I guess. Now Jimbo is somehow still alive, considering everybody around him is literally dying. Kind of impressed that he has stayed alive all this time, and now he's starting to pop off. Better late than never. Only 7 points on the board so far for Knights Templar, and pretty decent job of holding down the spawns, but kind of faltering a little bit as Knights Templar are starting to really make them a little bit nervous, uncomfortable, and in a precarious position.
Yeah, so there is still one player left from Rated Gaming on the very back of the map, but Knights Templar has essentially flooded this P2. So Rated Gaming is going to pick up scrap time on P1. They're going to need it with that flip happening. They're going to look to break here, as, I mean, Knights Templar did an amazing job of flipping these spawns and gaining control. So now it's, I mean, they said, all right, here's the ball. It's your turn, Rated Gaming. Let's see what you can do.
Dude, they're pretty much coming out of P1 with identical time, but Rated using the P2 spawns, and the setup for next is not going to be exactly how they want to start. They're going to try and go for a little bit of a break here. Aspect doing a pretty good job of getting inside and more or less clearing it out. Does take down another, but Dill somehow managing to come out of the fray alive. It's really starting to look like a slugfest here, Trevor, as everybody is more or less at about the even steep margin of AD right now, except for Ginger, going 6 into the odd man out here. Starting to get brought back down to earth, though, by that grenade.
Yeah, so Knights Templar won the initial gunfights for the next rotations, but Rated Gaming managed to kill that guy off of there, as Magnifico's trying to hop in here to make sure they secure these P3 spawns, as, again, his teammates just soaking up the last 10 seconds of this hard point for that P2. P3 is about to pop, and it looks like Knights Templar has the biggest presence there. A couple Rated Gaming players trying to squeak through and get there, but, I mean, Knights Templar has just shown how to play a hard point. They've rotated, they've flipped, they've held, then, well, they haven't had to really break, so they haven't done that yet, but I assume with how they're playing, how they're shooting, that's very well going to happen.
Could very well be the case, Trevor. I'm sure that, I don't know, Knights Templar have kind of decided to do their breaking of the spawns instead of the breaking of the hills, which I do see an absolute benefit in doing, especially a team like Rated Gaming, who loves to do really hunkered down setups and going on Aspect, trying to not flip the spawns, make it a little bit difficult for Knights Templar to extend their lead off this hill so that they can utilize these P5 spawns, which are currently in their hands right now, to get back into the game off a nest. Oh, good turn from Aspect, but Ginger able to do more or less the same thing to him. And Nella, excuse me, and is going to be running right back onto the hill into the grenade of Aspect. It's still looking like a scrappy match. So far, Knights Templar have a little bit of a chin up over Rated Gaming.
Chin up they have, indeed, as they are in this crates. They're just building that lead. It's about a 30-point lead now, as they're managing to kill Rated Gaming anytime they get close to the point. I mean, yeah, gunfights are going either way, but I mean, Knights Templar are winning them where they matter, not necessarily win. You do see Rated Gaming trying to come from the back here, but if you're Knights Templar, you're okay with that, because now look, you have the spawns for P5, you held P2 wonderfully, and so now you're just going to keep putting a little bit of pressure as you leave a couple guys back mine carts just to make sure no one kind of rotates through. We do see 2 players come through for Rated Gaming over that back mine cart, manage to pick up a kill. That's going to cause the rest of Knights Templar to just kind of flood back toward that P5 as to not give up that position.
Yeah, I was literally about to point that exact thing out, Trevor. That's a good catch. Rated Gaming, that is probably the umpteenth time that they have lost the spawns, the Knights Templar. They just don't really have any presence anywhere near the spawns. Well, not nearly enough to hold off the onslaught of Knights Templar, and now they are really starting to pay for it. They did a pretty dang good job not yesterday, but the last time I casted these guys, which was days ago. Knights Templar is kind of making them play a little bit harder than their last opponents did. Aspects just doggy crawling on up into the warehouse P5 here, but not quite able to much more than that, as they're still trying to find this guy up top. They're like, where is he? Where is he contesting from? And they do finally take him down, but Ribo, oh my god, that is just an enormous amount of time wasted.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do there. You realize you're the last one alive. You just stay alive for as long as you can just to get that contest through. I mean, now they're down a number of points as I am a caster and can't do math. As this P1 pops. Yeah, it is double. It's right around double. So it looks like Rated Gaming's managed to sneak through the back, trying to flip the spawns. It's going to be Zila over there in the back toward that P2. He's going to have to win a couple gunfights. Yeah. So, I mean, Knights Templar just has so much pressure on this P1 and so many... Okay, he did get the spawn. So Rated Gaming does start spawning on that right side of the map. This could be good for them in terms of using P2 as a swing hill to kind of get propel themselves back into this match. Gunfights like that are what you're going to need. You're going to need to apply this pressure toward that mid-map, stop them from soaking up as many points if they had on this P1, and just kind of keep going with it. But you cannot give up those spawns as you see Knights Templar start to come through the top and kind of flood back toward that P2.
Yeah, I think Zila's... I don't know. I guess it came at a good time that his entire team died, because at that moment, the ratio of Rated Gaming players on the right side of the map, the left side of the map, was more on the right side of the map, because he was on the right side of the map, and he was the only one alive. So that is what caused the spawn flip. Not the fact that he killed anybody, but that his entire team died. So that's actually kind of funny. Anyways, we've got Rated Gaming now doing a little bit of a taking a page out of the Knights Templar strategy book and snagging the spawns away from them at the last minute, trying to get a little bit of a hold going on here. But now we are starting to see the breaking ability from Knights Templar, and break they do indeed. They are going to be completely smoking Rated Gaming off this hill. Skittles, the last man alive, and he's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to next. But Ribo is going to say, I can make it to next, but so does Zella. He's going to be beating him there and just sitting there waiting for him, trying to make sure that they have these good spawns. Not just for this hill, but for the next two hills.
Yeah, that was straight up big brain by Skittles. Honestly, he's like, I'm on the other side of the map. I'll try to contest, die, and then spawn near my teammates so they have that as Knights Templar starts to rotate. So Rated Gaming does have the initial setup on this minecart's P3, but you see Knights Templar just starting to flood through, and already it looks like they're about to contest it too. So I mean, you just can't have that. Dill's on the other side coming through this warehouse, gonna shoot people in the back here. Yeah, that is absolutely oh, did he turn on him? Did he get him? Yeah, he got him in the corner. That was almost 3. He had shots on. He had enough to kill 3 almost. Unable to get it, but that distraction let his team get more of a pressure toward the front of that hard point. Rated Gaming managing to hold on though as they're trying to claw their way back into this hard point. I mean, you gotta kick it into gear right now. You start to see a couple of them start to rotate toward that P4. So they can't let Knights Templar have a full hold anywhere because that's the game. So they're gonna have to play as best as they can as Knights Templar does break for the scrap. And Rated Gaming just kind of scattered across the map right now.
That was a little bit of big brain right there from Ribo. Let a whole bunch of guys go past. Thought he had the last guy, and now he's starting to make a little bit of a hard time for these guys, especially considering the fact that Rated Gaming now has to go and contest them on the next hill. Well, this hill currently, because Knights Templar can win off of it, making the fact that they have P5 spawns right now totally irrelevant if they can't contest enough time off this. So Rated Gaming thought they were going to be in a good spot right now, but they're kind of not, and they're getting a little bit wrecked as they try and run up here. Aspect, oh my god, now they're really starting to get a little bit clapped down upon. Bacardi getting on the hill, contesting, getting a little bit of time, and also getting shots to the brain. And now, Rated Gaming are going to be breaking the hill a little bit here, and no, it's not even enough to win it just yet to prevent the enemy team from winning. As you can see, Knights Templar are just still pushing in with a serious onslaught to the hill and breaking through to next just in case.
Yeah, so, yeah, Rated Gaming managed to hold on there for that hill, but they can't let a break come through. They have to play absolutely perfect Call of Duty, as all it takes for Knights Templar to win is to get 2 ticks. You'll start to see them flooding. You have one player coming from that forest side there. That's going to be big in terms of positioning. Maybe set up a little bit of a pinch there if he's able to shoot a couple people in the back on his way through. If not, he turns heads for the flood to be able to have more of a pressure as it tries to bust through these doors. You see Knights Templar sliding through to that entry point of the warehouse. So far, Rated Gaming has done a good job of keeping them out. It doesn't look like they're getting any points themselves, though, so I'm not sure really what's going on, as they just forgot to leave someone in the hill. And with that, I mean, you see a couple players from Knights Templar, they're just running through. That's going to be the game because, well, Rated Gaming knew that they weren't going to be allowed, that they could not allow Knights Templar to get anywhere close to that hill, so they were so far pushed out that they weren't really getting points. So when those close spawns came through for Knights Templar, they just kind of ran through, killed the one guy in the hill, and picked up those last two. This Ginger is an absolute animal, as he this was a triple kill here to go on a 5 spree. Could have picked up a couple more there at the end, but the dude just went off. I mean, what was he, 31 and 25? Dude's an animal.
Absolutely right there, Trevor. Ginger, absolute difference maker for you. Not a bad amount of time, not a bad amount of kills, not a bad amount of deaths either. So overall, not bad. Above him is going to be Hill, though. He got pretty much all the hill. He also did a pretty dang good job as well at a 29 and 18. For the show. As for everybody else was getting stuck into each other, dying left, right, and center. It was a pretty bloody match, all things. That is an insane amount of back and forth killing in that short amount of time, I would have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an action-packed hard point, as I mean, a lot of kills did end up coming through for relatively both sides, honestly. I mean, you had Skittles was the only person who was unable to break 20 in the lobby, but he did have a pretty big presence in the hill for his team, racking up just almost 2 minutes in the hard point. I mean, if you're Rated Gaming, you're gonna have to do something with this Arklov Peak search and destroy as we head into that. So there's a couple different things that you can do with Arklov Peak. Actually, last night when I was casting it, something really cool happened. There were more B hits than there were A hits, and I loved it.
My microphone is picking me up for some bit weird, but anyways, maybe I put the talk while I fix my.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep talking. Looking at this search and destroy, I can't remember who I casted last night, but I'm not sure. I forgot to write all the numbers down. But I mean, Arklov's what we've seen for like the past week in this first search and destroy slot. Teams just electing to play it, not really wanting to play any other games. Give them a break from any other maps. Gives them a break from the Gunrunner, as that's going to be the hard point and the domination. Arklov Peak is one of my favorite search and destroy maps for this game, just because how it plays. It's a bigger map, so once you make that decision, you really have to stick with it. You don't have the option to make a late rotation, because if you do, numbers are not going to be there. You're going to have to bully your way through the middle of the map, which is never fun, because on such a big map, people can just hold power positions, watch those angles, get those crosses, and just pick them up and sniff out any kind of rotation. So you really have to make a dedicated push, and how you choose to do that, whether you send a full 5 or really just anything.
All right, Trevor, and not a moment too soon are we going to be starting up this search and destroy on Arklov Peak. I can only speculate so far, but from what I've seen, Skittles is a pretty dang good sniper, especially on this map. So I think Knights Templar, they either got to bring the same amount of heat and damage in terms of sniping capabilities, or they just got to chalk the alpha site completely and go on towards the B hits a little bit here. That would be my estimation, but again, that only rings true if they do not have a good sniper of their own, which they could have.
Yeah, and if you go B, take all 5 B, man. Don't send one person on a deep anchor, because it never works out. If you're going for quick B, you have to have the numbers. Send a full 5. We are not seeing a quick B this time. Rated Gaming is just going to straight up head toward that A side, and you want to with Skittles. I mean, honestly, I mean, he does have the sniper in his hands. He's going to be watching to get this early pick. It seems both teams are pretty much there. We do see one player from each team over toward that B site, as Skittles looking to get. Is he going to get the head there? I mean, maybe he saw him.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, first blood from Skittles with that sniper. That's exactly what you want to do, especially when Bacardi follows it up with a kill of his own. So that's numbers advantage to Rated Gaming, even more so because there was still a player at B for Knights Templar. So Dill with the sniper, he's going to look to get a pick as Rated Gaming pushes up toward this bomb site, but when you have a 5v3, there's not much that you can do. I mean, Nordic can try to turn and get that first player, but there's 3 right there with him with that numbers advantage. Dill and Ribo left alone in this 2v4. They're going to have to do a lot to take this defensive side.
Or they might not have to do a whole lot. But yeah, what they really needed was to keep that bomb down, which is now being planted. And yeah, now they are going to have to do a wide and a snipe trade to end things off. Looks like these snipers are going to be a little bit evenly matched for each other. But the question is the kills from either side going to come before Skittles takes down too many of the enemy players? Or is it going to... Yeah, it just really comes down to taking out each other's snipers first. They're really going to have to focus on taking each other out here because both apparently look to be an even match for each other. Just really depends upon how they do up against their other teammates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. We love to see this, man. So it looks like they are going to go for the quick B, and they're sending kind of their player that's playing back is going mid-map rather than going like A trenches, which I saw last night quite a bit. Playing this mid-map gives you the angle. You can hear the people rotating from A through Broken, gives your teammates a chance, but Rated Gaming do get the initial kills as a two-piece from Aspect, but it's answered with 2 kills from the side of Knights Templar. We have a 3v3 with a bomb down at that B site.
Yes, indeed we do, and it looks like Nordic trying to make a little bit of a noise. Probably would be well advised to wait for his teammates to come up and help him, but now he's going to be getting... What? You see his foot! You see his foot! And he gets absolutely bamboozled and taken down by Dill. I think he's definitely going to be hitting himself for that one, but Zella now starting to make some plays on up here. Gotta deal with the sniper in the middle, and the sniper in the middle actually not gonna be able to find him in time, but he is well placed in order to... Both players are well placed to get some kills here, but it looks like Skittles aptly deals with Dill this time around, and Zella obviously dealing well with Magnifico, so that is gonna be finishing things off in their favor.
Yeah, that was big from Rated Gaming because I believe that was a 2v3 retake. Those are never easy, especially with on this B site because there are so many places that you can hop in and out of, walk around, run around, have these windows to look through. So that's a really big retake for the side of Rated Gaming. As you are flipping to that offense, the 8 hit was successful for you last time. Skittles has proven so far to be the more dominant sniper. So I would try to push that A again, see if you can't get those picks and just run with it.
Yeah, speaking of Skittles, I kind of want to see how he does in a push towards A yet again. Yeah, you see he knows where Dill likes to go. He's got that spot pre-aimed completely. Yeah, they're not pushing the trench because Skittles is not giving him total trench control like he normally does. He's instead doing the smart thing like I said, and he is trying to first take out Dill. But Dill doesn't appear to want to play that way. He is just watching a different corner instead. And this is playing straight into the hands of Knights Templar. Raid is starting to realize this, and now they're starting to get a little bit more aggro with it. Skill's going right to where Dill is pre-aiming, but the smoke is blocking it, so it's going to be a little bit of an interesting task to deal with this now.
Yeah, I mean, no players have gone down. There's about 30 seconds left. These picks are going to have to come through. So Nordic does get that first pick, but is immediately traded out. So it's 4v4, 30 seconds left. Bomb has to be planted if you're Rated Gaming. So that bomb's going to go down now. It doesn't look like he's going to get ripped off. Oh, I lied. He totally did get ripped off of it right as I was saying it. So that's really big with 20 seconds. You're going to have to make that push. Dill ends up getting a snipe. Who's left? I can't quite see their names. It's a 1v3. Yeah, so Aspect is left in this 1v3. Able to get the first, but not much you can do after that because when it's a 1v3, you're going to have 2 players there ready to trade for you, especially with the sniper standing up there in the top.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much exactly what Knights Templar needed. I gotta say, Dill played that really, really well on the counter-sniping aspect of the game. He didn't go to an angle where he could easily get picked off from, and he was playing it really, really defensively because he knows that if he goes down, Skittles is probably going to pick apart his team slowly and painfully. So that's a pretty well-played round on his part. So on this time around, it looks like Knights Templar is not really feeling like they want to test their luck up against Skittles, and they're going up for a B hit instead.
Yeah, I mean, and the B hit is really smart. They almost had it last time. It was a 2v3 retake. Those don't happen every time. If you get yourself in the same position, I guarantee Knights Templar takes this often. So it looks like they might try to get the bomb down here. Yeah, so it's going to be a smart thing. Just get it down as quick as you can and then play from there. We do have the numbers advantage for the side of Rated, though, as it now is a 2v3 for the offense this time. not the defense. They've already hopped the bomb to try to defuse it. It looks like. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. So yeah, when they did not go through with it. It's just Skittles and Dila versus Dill and Magnifico. Rated Gaming has to work this retake.
Oh, that feels so bad. Dill gotta memorize where it is, but oh, he gets pounded by Zella first. Zella on a 6-1 tear so far. The man is not looking rough for wear at all. Totally calm and collected, and he is right in his element as Rated Gaming take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, and what Knights Templar did in that first hard point, Rated Gaming starting to do in this search, they're just taking control and just absolutely steamrolling through Knights Templar. I mean, yeah, Knights Templar does have the one map win, but honestly, or the one round win, not necessarily the map, for the search and destroy. I mean, Rated Gaming has just showed so far to be the superior search team. And looks like they're going for the B hit this time. Knights Templar went for it the first couple. But it looks like they're already with the 3-2 split on the defense. Rated Gaming's going to go around the outside. Maybe, unless they decide to bust through this front door. But, I mean, the players are waiting for him. They're ready for it.
He's going to open up the door. Nope, trying to bait a chow out, but none so far. Aspect trying to hop the bomb. Doesn't have that much support, and his support is now completely gone from Jimbo. Kind of scares his teammate there, as he almost shoots him, but this time gets shot for real by Ginger. Bacardi, oh, he's the last man standing. It's not looking good for Rated Gaming as they try and do a little bit of a chop and change in the strategy, try to keep their opponents guessing, but they did not do it nearly fast enough, and they lost some key gunfights as well. I'm speaking as though this is over because it pretty much is, and Knights Templar are going to be inching ever so closer to tying their opponents.
Yeah, you really don't see 1v5 aces. I mean, if the ace comes through, it's usually because there's pressure from your teammates that let you get that kill. It's not often that you see a 1v5 ace. So, Knights Templar starting to crawl their way back into the search and destroy. It's only 3-2. It's not like we're super far into this search. Rated Gaming still has the advantage though, so they can look to really push it here. If Knights Templar wins this next round, if you're rated, you got to start to worry. I mean, maybe Jimbo needs to pick it up a little bit, being just 1-4. I mean, other than that, Rated's played solid search. So, I mean, you just got to stop this momentum from Knights Templar.
Yeah, I'm trying to hop in here with Aspect as he's going to be at the forefront of the action. He's trying to throw down a little bit of a Semtex into the smoke, but they all rush on into the building, which is kind of what he wanted, as he takes down one, but not the second. Tees up Jimbo for a potential kill, as he does fry the guy who is planting the bomb. Magnifico trying to come in and pick up the pieces for his now dead teammate, Jimbo. Slightly out of his line of sight, shown in the corner. Picking up the bomb and trying to make sure that the coast is absolutely clear. And he is now out of Deddy, so kind of needing to lean on his teammates a little bit more. Dill is the only one of them that is left. He's going to get an easy kill on Bacardi, who's facing the wrong direction, just in case there's a potential flank from A, I guess. But that does kind of open things up for a flank, but if it's going to happen, it's got to be now. Otherwise, yeah, actually no one really trying to predict the flank here, but Dill is going to be coming on in, trying to give some help, as Jimbo now going to take him down, but that's not what they needed right there.
Nah, there were two players watching that window to see like if someone was starting to plan or if someone tried to hop out after they planted. So they were there, they were waiting, they were ready. Rated Gaming, they take this round number 6 as they go up 4-2 in the search and destroy.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that is really, really not what they needed. They had a little bit of time to rotate, and they obviously wouldn't know, but the coast was totally clear. Not a single soul was watching the rotation, because the only one that they had watching was Bacardi, I believe it was, and he got shot in the back by Magnifico. So, I mean, obviously hindsight 2020, especially when you have basically wall hacks like I do and you can see everybody, but they obviously don't have that kind of ability as Ribo, opening things up good enough to trade himself out.
Yeah, but then 2 kills go for the side of Rated Gaming. So, I mean, it's good to get the first pick, but when it's answered straight back a couple times, as it now is a 4v3. Rated Gaming's gonna pick up the bomb, probably plant it really quick as they're just watching Dill on this last player. They know his position, he's tagged up. I look for the shots to come through. Yeah, Dill is dead. Rated Gaming kind of took that momentum from Knights Templar. Have won these last 2 rounds. They're up 5-2, and all they need is to take 1 more.
Yeah, Trevor, I mean, to make matters worse, they lost round number 7, so Rated Gaming, if they weren't looking like the favorites already, they now have the favor of the Call of Duty gods on their side, or spiritual forces, whatever the Call of Duty pantheon may manifest itself as. But anyways, we're going to be seeing as Knights Templar trying to keep themselves away from the jaws of defeat. Gonna get a little bit of a smoke ready. Gonna put it in the middle to try and fake a B potentially, but Skill's getting a little bit closer than he normally does and does find good effect for it, taking down 1 guy as things are starting to speed up a little bit from the Knights Templar department, but could be facing some trouble from the middle, courtesy of Aspect.
Yeah, and then Jimbo's going to be on this long flank as well. He's going to come right back through their spawn and probably shoot them in the back if they don't sniff it out before that happens. And then Aspect's right there at Broken. That's another flank and potential pinch that could come through. Oh, well, that absolutely turned on. Oh, he got the second. Ooh. There's not even words for that. If he could have picked up that third, that's just absolutely ridiculous. It's up to Ginger. I mean, he is a monster, but it's a 1v3. That's a tall order. He is able to get the bomb and rotate. He should be able to get this down. I think left the door open, got shot as he was trying to plant. Rated Gaming bounces back after the first map loss, wins the Arklov Peak Search and Destroy 6-2.
Oh man, that is really, really rough scenes for Ginger. Could have potentially teed himself up for a chance up against the remaining players of Rated Gaming to try and recover a little bit, but I mean, Rated Gaming had so much going for them, and they just looked unstoppable in that search and destroy. So it's gonna come down to how things go on the domination side, which, if you do remember the last time we saw them, they looked pretty incredible, Trevor. You know what I'm talking about. These guys are absolutely looking just beastly in the domination department. But it's not going to be on the map that we saw them on the last time. You got to remember the last time we saw them, it was on Hackney Yard, which they absolutely... No, wait, no. I'm thinking of a different team. We actually did see them on this map the last time, and they did pretty dang good from both sides, so that's something to keep in mind.
Kyle.
Yeah?
Was it... You didn't cast the 200-point domination with me, did you?
No. That was you and someone else yesterday.
Yeah, that was last 200 points in a dom. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but... Whoever played last night, was it Rated that played last night?
No, you and I casted, let's take a look at the bracket. You and I casted Rated versus Finale Gaming, and yesterday was Indiana versus Knights Templar. And Knights Templar... Yeah,
Knights Templar smoked Indiana Syndicate on that domination, man. They absolutely bullied them. Over 200 points in the domination was nutty. But at the same time, Jimbo from the side of Rated, I think he finished both halves on a 7 streak off that minecart heady. They held that CB the whole time. So these are 2 teams that are really good at this gunrunner domination, and I'm curious to see. So Knights Templar held the AB the whole time last night. Rated Gaming, they held the CB the whole time when they won it. Who's gonna get B? Whoever gets B. I mean, this is that's normal. That's how it goes. But both of these teams have proven that they can hold the side to great lengths. So whoever wins that initial B fight is really definitely going to have an advantage.
You know what, Trevor? You're absolutely right about that. And I was actually thinking about the other match that I casted this week, which was, again, I take a look back at the bracket. It was Monolithic versus Swift Uprising, and that was the one that was on Hackney Yard. That was a blowout in the hands of Swift Uprising. But Rated versus Finale was actually moderately close, but Rated definitely showed that they have some really good prowess in the mode. Knights Templar, like you said, showing that they're pretty dang good at it yesterday with an absolute shellacking on their opponents of Indiana Syndicate. So it's 2 teams that are pretty well versed in domination going at it right now to try and break the deadlock at the halfway point.
Yeah, I normally don't like casting domination. All right, it's no one's favorite mode to cast. but with how dominant both of these teams have shown to be, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Trevor, I've only ever casted 2 dominations that end in a tie, but I think that this could very well be a third if someone isn't able to overcome the other in a serious capacity.
Well, Knights Templar did win theirs in a more dominant fashion, but they also may have played a lower seed, so I'm not 100% sure. If you're Knights Templar, don't let Jimbo get that heady, because he'll just rock you like a hurricane.
Oh, I love that song, Trevor. But anyways, we're going to be seeing Skittles coming on through the middle of the map, kind of going past both the guys that are there. Fries one in almost a second, but now Bacardi is going to know that he is there, and he's weak, and he's going to take total advantage of that. Now he's going to run through the middle of the map as well, and now he's going to be distracting multiple players as the full push is going to come in from Rated onto B.
Yeah, AB from Knights Templar, and they have great map presence. They have players posted up in a couple of different places watching these different positions. I assume that Bacardi's about to get snipped out here because there's a player like immediately to his left. No, he did end up rotating through, but the shots come through. He's gonna hop through green. No, so Bacardi had good position there in green, but he didn't do much with it. An AR would have been a much better player to have in that position that Bacardi was in. But here's Jimbo. They have CB now. He's kind of pushed up. Look, he's going to get back on this last minecart. He's going to hold this heady, and he's just going to fry anyone that comes through here. Because that's just what he does on this map. He even checked the time. He's like, oh, what time is it? What, are they about to be here? That was pretty saucy there from Jimbo as he was the featured player. So, I mean, you see Knights Templar start to go for some of this mid-map presence, maybe push through mid-map to kind of hit a pinch there. Number 4, Zila, he was able to put a little bit of pressure as they're trying to come up through that, like, 2-3. But Knights Templar, in the meantime, they are not letting Rated Gaming have any points, as they did neutral C and have AB. That's a big flip there.
Yeah, so Rated Gaming pushing their opponents so hard to where they flip them out for C, but Knights Templar reacting pretty well with the gunfights and flipping it right on back, but coming out of it with the majority cap this time. So Rated Gaming kind of got a little bit too eager to make a little bit of a statement against their opponents, and it didn't really do them much good trying to slam them like that. But they're pretty much back in the same spot pre-overextension, so who's really to say that it's going to cost them a lot, you know?
Yeah, so this is a really close and really good domination, because as soon as Knights Templar makes a break and pushes for something, Rated Gaming makes a break and pushes right back. So it's a lot of pushing and a lot of shoving. You do see Skittles has a crazy presence on the map right now toward this A side, and that is just taking pressure away from B as he's being that nuisance. I don't even know if they saw him get out of there. They do know a couple people in the back as they're looking for him.
He actually is going to get found by Riba, who I do think hurt him just a tad bit. But yeah, Magnifico, you are absolutely right, is going to be kind of... I think that's a little bit of a misplay there from Rated Gaming, sending so dang many guys back there. They get completely broken off of B with a massive push from Knights Templar, and now they are no longer gaining points. This is step 1 complete from Knights Templar, but now they've just got to get the complete cap on it themselves, otherwise Rated Gaming are just going to keep this 6-point lead.
Yeah, it's a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. The bloodbath is just at B. We've seen a couple different overextensions to try to neutral the flag, but that only resulted in B, and then B gets taken right back. So Rated Gaming is in the lead right now, as they did start on that C side. They do favor the CB, at least the last couple times that I've casted them. So it makes sense that they'd be up. As soon as I say something about them being up, the shove comes right back from Knights Templar. They have AB, which they held to great success. They just need to not... They like to get the AB and then push out in the map and just kill everyone. You can't kill Rated Gaming like you killed the Syndicate last night. You have to give them that respect. Back up a little bit and hold your power positions. Maybe not extend yourself so far through the map.
Can I point something out to you, Trevor?
No.
Look at... Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Look at Jimbo's kill-to-death ratio right now, and look at the time that we're at. We're almost at the end of the first half, and he's only had 10 engagements and only won 6 of them. That is night and day performance from how he's done the last time. I'm sure that his teammates are probably feeling the strain of that as things are now really, really close. He's just not, his playstyle just has not been, you know, he's starting to do a little bit better now, but maybe a little bit of a change in the positioning and the tactics for Jimbo would be in order here, as he's not being as effective as he was in the last time. Being effective pretty now at the end, but not effective enough to keep his team in the lead at the end of the first half.
Yeah, no, the difference there from the last time that we saw him is he was able to hold that heady the whole time. Knights Templar just didn't let him do that. They had a lot of B pressure. As you can see, the Knights Templar ended up coming out on top after that first half. Albeit it's only by 4 points, but I mean, if you're rated gaming, you do favor that CB side. So maybe they try to flip here. Maybe they just hold the AB because, I mean, some people do consider that to be the advantageous side. Either way, both sides play pretty even. I'm interested. I'm going to be interested to see what each team kind of goes for here.
I'm kind of curious to see the potential Cinderella story here of B Jimbo. Actually, maybe a little bit of a Paradise Lost story coming to unfold here. A little bit of a fall from grace and potentially a chance for redemption coming on in here as he's got... Well, I guess his teammate did take down his opponent with him, but Jimbo now retreating back. He does know that someone's going around to A. They're actually trying to flip here, Knights Templar. Jimbo does catch one person in the act, but the flip has already happened, and I'm sure that Bacardi is calling that out. Ribo, he's trying to solidify this. As you can see, they're starting to spawn back over there as... Yeah, they're not quite able to win too many gunfights in the middle of the map. Jimbo just standing his ground, making sure that nobody pushes up to A to cap it. This is kind of an interesting play, a little bit of a rough one for Knights Templar, because they're doing the right things to flip it, but they just got to get the kills to push Rated out, and they do just that.
Yeah, I think Jimbo was the reason that the spawns didn't flip all the way. He was close enough there. And he did exactly what he needed to do. But now, Knights Templar has A and they have B, leaving Rated Gaming with just C. So, I mean, it's only a 3-point differential right now, as Knights Templar is going to get the couple favorable ticks as long as Rated Gaming can't hop onto that B flag. I look for Rated Gaming to not try to flip here. I look for them to just kind of bully their way through B and try to hold it.
If they do make a play for A, I'm assuming that it's only going to be to try and divert attention away. But yeah, Jimbo,
100%.
He's trying to make sure that they don't over-push them and keep them even further in their spawn, because it's still pretty dang close, Trevor. It's only a 3-point differential right now. And now Ribo trying to do exactly what I just said and overextend for C. But starting to look a little bit skimpy there on B as everybody goes down. Magnifico, the main AR, starting to get a little bit up into the face here of their opponents, but accidentally hit the wrong button, so we're not going to see him kill that guy. But he does take down all of them off screen, which is unfortunate we didn't get to see it, but a good play nonetheless. Now it's starting to really stack up on C to make Rated Gaming make it even harder for them to push back to B, because how can you push to B when you're getting absolutely throttled on C?
Yeah, it's not a good look for Rated Gaming right now, as it looks like the spawns are gonna flip. Maybe one person spawned down there, or maybe he got through and overextended, but he's gonna die. There were 2 players there for Knights Templar almost instantly, as they're gonna clear and cap A back. Does Rated Gaming? Yeah, they just now got C, so that's a long time without a flag. For a game that's played really close. That is not good if you're Rated Gaming. You're going to really have to kick into overdrive here for this last 2 minutes if you're going to come back.
Huge potential kill for Aspect! This is going to get taken down again, but big comeback plays from Jimbo. I don't know, I guess Shawshank Redemption story for Jimbo, not necessarily in terms of a jailbreak, but more of a redemption arc. He is going to be completely clearing off the flag and making it so that his team can get back in there off the back of a 4 or 5 kill spree, but he dies right after, and now he is pretty much right back neck and neck with everybody else in the lobby. He is at 17 and 9 now. He has gotten about 4 more deaths in the time that he has gotten 9 more kills. So overall, doing a lot better now is Jimbo, and it's definitely I guess I should say it's not definitely showing, because they've actually lost ground, but could potentially still come back.
Yeah, they have every opportunity to come back, but they're down by just about 20 points with about a minute left, too. So they're going to have to make sure that they... Look, I don't know who has the flag here. Rated has the flag right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Rated does have the flag. That's exactly what they need. They just can't let Knights Templar push up. to get the pressure there. But Knights Templar is looking for a flood toward that B side. If you're raided, send that extra guy toward A. Let Jimbo hold his heady. Send one toward A to kind of get the neutral and turn the head. That would be the play for me right here, as they're all just trying to flood B, maybe shoot a couple players in the back, neutral A. Oh, that's what they're doing. They sit two. One shooting them in the back, the other's neutraling A right now. So this is actually really good for Rated Gaming, as, I mean, they have every opportunity to steal this away from Knights Templar.
Actually, he does tee up Jimbo for a solid hold there, but they do lose control over B in the meantime, getting it right on back though, but it is still, not enough anymore. They really had to get the full cap, and they were trying, Trevor, but Knights Templar just slamming the door in their face and saying no, and to make things worse, Ginger just absolutely streaking on them at the end, putting a solid end to it in a very close match. Knights Templar going to be 2-1 up, not yet dropping a respawn.
Yeah, we're headed right back to another one. It's going to be a St. Petrograd hardpoint, so it's not going to play the same as a Gunrunner hardpoint. It plays a lot different, actually. So in terms of, but I don't know, if you're Knights Templar, you're kind of happy about that, because they won just about every rotation. They won their one-on-one gunfights in that first hardpoint. They were able to break, and they were able to hold. And St. Petrograd focuses more on that rotation and more on that positioning, which, I mean, if you look back to that first hardpoint, that's something that Knights Templar did so much better than Rated Gaming.
Yeah, I think though, Trevor, on a map like St. Petrograd, which is the next map, I don't think that is going to be as big of an issue, because this map, I'm going to be straight up honest, it's not one that is super duper dependent on spawns. You might think I'm crazy when I say that, but I've seen a lot of top challenger teams play this one hill at a time, especially off the rip. There are obviously some spawns that are beneficial to get, but it's not nearly as spawn dependent as Gunrunner, I guess you could say. You could definitely play for the break a lot easier on this map, which would really make the fact that Rated Gaming has been having a hard time controlling the spawns less of an issue for them, I would say.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's not as many I mean, you might be crazy, 100%. We're not sure about that one yet. That's still being diagnosed. But I mean, I guess there's not as many like money hills per se on St. Petrograd. Maybe a little bit easier to break than those on Gunrunner. But I think having that rotation definitely helps, just because of how big the map is. So you're gonna have to you get 5 wiped before the beginning of a hill because you lost the rotation. That's a solid 10-15 seconds that the other team's gonna get, because you have to rotate all the way back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it is so, like, on this map, at least if you can win your gunfights, then the close spawn might not necessarily be the most beneficial spawn to have. Well, I mean, and the inverse, if you lose your gunfights, the close spawn might not be the most beneficial, because the gateways out of a lot of the spawns that are closer to the flags are kind of death traps, and it's really easy to get spawn trapped in them. I'm really talking about the advantageous P2 spawns, the P3 spawns here, Trevor. Those are the ones that I'm talking about, and the P1, well, the spawns for P2 on P1 as well. Like I'm saying, it's really easy to play on the break on this map, and because if you can just win your gunfights, you can easily spawn trap people in the closer spawns.
That's very true. I'm not sure which team. It all depends. I have no idea, because, like, say you win the rotation, that team to get those close spawns because they were there first. Like, it's weird. This map plays weird. I'm just ready to get into it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It plays weird. Yeah, rotations are big, but it does play weird because it's so much easier to get trapped.
Yeah. So I'll meet you in the middle here and say that rotations aren't totally useless, and I agree with that 100%. And basically what I'm saying here is that you can definitely play for the break a lot easier on this map than any other map in the game. And I think that we're going to see Rated Gaming do a little bit better of a job because of that. But they really need Jimbo. They really need a second half of domination Jimbo and not a first half of domination Jimbo in this round if they're going to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean 100%. I'm interested to see who's on what side here, as I don't have those memorized. Knights Templar spawning away from P2. Rated Gaming gonna have the quote-unquote advantageous spawns here, as they could get that nice time off of P2. I've seen teams completely give up P1 and then just hold for P2, but that's not what Rated Gaming is going to do. They're going to apply that pressure, get a couple people over toward that mid-map area, and watch those angles, watch those crosses, and especially
Oh my
pick up
God.
5 kills off the rip. Oh my goodness! So that's a complete full wipe for Knights Templar. That's just 3 points if you're Rated Gaming.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of teams do the opposite. They just say, screw P2 spawns, we're just gonna try and get the win off of P2, because if they can get close to 60 off of this, it's kind of the same idea as P1 on, you know, what's it called, Hackney Yard. It's kind of the same school of thought as that. But if you can't win the initial gunfights on there, you might as well just scrap that and go for the P2 spawns, because it is such an easy hill to hold. Making me my words on that are Knights Templar, as they break the hill away from Rated Gaming and still push for the spawns. But it looks like Rated Gaming still handily holding the spawns and making it so that it is still not too much in the favor of Knights Templar, as they could potentially set up well for this.
Rated has to watch that trap, man. I mean, there's a lot of like pressure coming from Knights Templar as Rated just keeps spawning close. So if someone gets hot for Knights Templar, this could be bad for Rated Gaming, as Knights Templar managing to contest here, not necessarily all the way break through. Coming through from oh, they got players on both sides. Nordic up on top, shooting players from Rated Gaming in the back. Players pushing from the front. I mean, that's a good break from Knights Templar, especially after putting so many points. They got full wiped off the rip, and then we're able to put more points on the board for P1, and then come and break for P2. This is a scary Knights Templar squad right now.
I absolutely cannot believe. Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of believe that they broke Rated Gaming like that, because at the start of the hill, the only one that was really positioned on the hill well was Skittles. Everyone else was still trying to cross over from those P2 spawns, and Knights Templar were in a good position to cut them off from getting in those good positions, because the path from the spawns to the hill is so incredibly wide open. And now Dill gonna have one to his side here, absolutely frags him out. And it looks like Knights Templar are going to be getting the more closer spawns to this one, but trying to get the win over mid buses to cut off the rotation to next for Knights Templar already is Bacardi, and this is really smart. Like I'm saying, this is not necessarily the more advantageous spawn, even though it's closer if you can't win your gunfights, because they could easily get trapped in here, Trevor.
Yeah, it looks like they started to win their gunfights, though, as they do push out there here. as soon as you said it, they start to win. So Rated Gaming doing the smart thing here, not necessarily fully chalking it, as they are going to send Skittles up toward the front to kind of put this pressure on the rotation. Never mind, he got fried. So now Knights Templar is going to be able to pick up the scrap time and kind of rotate toward that pool hall area and start to develop that map presence that they're going to need.
Yeah, as you can see though, they're holding down this mid buses area here, Trevor, and that is the most common route out of P3 into P4 from the people that have the close spawns for P3, and that is why Rated Gaming is holding that so adamantly. Now they're gonna transition over to blue, because that is an incredibly powerful position as well, and Magnifico kind of a good spot to counter that though.
Yeah, you do start to see some pressure close from Knights Templar, as they could develop a flood here. Maybe even a pinch, sending a couple players through a couple different doors. Looks like Rated Gaming spawning over toward P2 right now. Knights Templar spawning over toward P1, as they're just they're in a foot race to see who gets there and able to. Right now, I mean, Rated Gaming's just kind of holding it down. They're doing what they need to in order to get these points. But even if they finish off the rest of these points here, they're still down, with Knights Templar already kind of set up in this next hill.
Yeah. Jimbo in the meantime, oh man, they had the setup for the next hill, but it is going to get taken away from them by just a little bit. Catching up a tiny bit off that last hill, but oh man, they've got to keep control over L for this one, Trevor. Aspect going to be just going right on through it, completely bypassing Ribo. He does take down the other guy on the hill with Ribo, so he's going to have to kind of do double duty in terms of holding every angle until his teammates can get back here. It's going to come at a good time, his teammates push in here, as it doesn't look like Rated were too confident with what they had there.
Look at the kill feed.
I do
It's
see
all
that.
red, man. That's like 7 kills in a row for the side of Knights Templar. That is not good if you're rated. It just keeps going. It's just all red. Nordic and Ginger, man, they're just absolutely frying everybody. Oh, there's the first blue. The first blue that we've seen in probably about 13 kills. Finally starts to come through for Rated Gaming is Knights Templar just absolutely frying people right now, man. They're up by about 60 points as these last couple ticks come through. Right around 70, but we're about to see the flip over to P1, and Knights Templar already have a couple players there. Rated Gaming's pretty close too, so this could get kind of scrappy.
Yeah, Dill already gonna be here, like you said. This is a really good hill to have. Like, you might think that P2 is a money hill, but P1 is actually a money hill in this game. It's just so easy to clog people out of here. Just hold every angle. You can really start to limit the enemy's movement from this objective, and then it's... yeah, especially when it can put them over the 200-point margin, which, again, that is just where you exactly where you want to be for Knights Templar. Allows you to win off of any of the remaining hills mathematically, putting even further pressure on Rated Gaming. And so they're going to be trying to contest this a little bit more than they would have because they don't want to give that to Knights Templar. But it looks like with only 14 seconds remaining, they're just trying to get ready for next. Oh no.
Yeah, and as they try to get ready for next, Knights Templar's there. They're just as ready as Rated Gaming was, if not more ready, as the kills do start to come through. Aspect does pick up a 2-piece there, as you can see in the kill feed. Rated Gaming has initial control of P2, but you have a couple players coming around the back from Knights Templar. McCarty unable to get the kill. Teammate there for the trade. There's pressure both sides for Rated Gaming, as they just are doing their best to hold this, but Knights Templar are managing to break through. They can't win it off this hill. Rated Gaming does have the contested here as well, so just a double make sure of that. But they can pick up a good chunk of points if Knights Templar is able to hold this.
I was about to say they just can't get a coordinated push together, but they do finally all get together, put their heads together, and start to really frag people out here. Jimbo gonna run out of ammo as they're all pushing on up. Too many shots to take down that one guy down, and they're gonna break it, but the crisis is averted, at least on this hill. So they're gonna at least have an opportunity to break back in onto next, but look at that point differential. 100 points into the hands of Rated Gaming is going to be the lead going into next. They can only get it to about a 60-point differential, and Knights Templar still can win off of any of the remaining hills. And the next one is going to be a very hard one to get to if they don't keep these mid-buses area open. And they do flip into the spawns, which does give Dill the advantage of holding on to mid-buses.
Yeah, look how even the kill spread is for Knights Templar. Like, it's crazy to see all them right around that 20-point mark. If Dill's able to pick up one more kill, yeah, there's 20. 21, actually. He picked up 2 there. As Knights Templar is just absolutely frying Rated Gaming as they basically have them spawn trapped. This is a good old-fashioned spawn trap here, as Knights Templar is just frying them as soon as they can see them. I mean, there's no way, yeah, that's the game. Knights Templar dominates the respawns in this series. Rated Gaming manages to actually take the search and destroy in a very dominant fashion, but Knights Templar said, you only get 2 searches, the rest are respawns, as they do take every single respawn that they played.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. I thought that Rated was going to have a much, much better performance, judging by the beginning, but I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Even though they literally completely annihilated Knights Templar, like a full team wipe in a matter of seconds of the first gunfight, they do end up losing the map by over 100 points. So, again, sorry, what's it called? What am I trying to say? Looks can potentially be deceiving, as Knights Templar gonna be moving on to the finals to face the winner of Natural Talent versus Swift Uprising, which is gonna be played next, I do believe, off stream, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's been a great day. I thank you to all of our sponsors. I know GitGudHosts, big sponsor for this K7 Cup. Other than that, I mean, Kamika, it's been great casting with you tonight. It was an amazing game. Didn't know I was going to cast it. I'm very glad that I did, because we saw some really good Call of Duty from each side. GG's to everyone. Thank you for joining me, Kamika, and thank you to everyone who tuned in.
Yes, indeed. On that note, Trevor, couldn't end it more perfectly myself. So, on that note, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel on your way out, and we will be back next time. We'll see you guys